Tuesday the 11th, before the trip up to the James River, starting out of Iron Gate. I just installed that little bit of carry thwart support and a couple knee braces because there's some class 1s and class 2s. Put that on my seat. There's my seat right there. Got some drinks. I'll be wearing Tivas for the most part. A little bit of fishing stuff. Some water all the way. I've got plenty of Sawyer squeeze type stuff. I'm going to put that tarp at the top of my Duluth pack over there. Food in the white trash bag. PFD, gloves, emergency essentials, etc. in that are going to stay near me in the canoe. If everything bails, I grab that, I'll be alright. This is junk from doing the knee pads. And fishing rod's already in the van. Oh, a little bailing thing. That's it before, and I'll do a quick video once I throw it on top of the van up there. Okay, evening of Tuesday the 11th of June 2024. Got it wrapped so that hopefully the cross straps have got twists in them so I don't have a bunch of chatter and vibration. And front's tight. Hopefully we don't get rain. I don't have to figure out if the wipers work. I don't think we're not scheduled to. And in terms of stuff in the back,
Wednesday, midday, putting in the James River, getting everything ready for launch right now. The drop-off point.
the river appears to be moving pretty quickly. My son looked up the water level when we were coming up at Buchanan and said it was at 2.5, which is about perfect. They say 2.3 to 4.0. Anyhow, yeah, it's moving along quickly, and I'm basically just coasting because I've got such a long time to do this. Basically 3 full days. Today's Wednesday, midday, and he's picking me up Saturday, midday. Just downstream of what I think, according to the map, is a class 2. I wouldn't have thought it was that much, but map was correct. It says run it left. Pretty straightforward. Did see a bald eagle already. That was so cool. Train tracks up there. This is what mile marker 3 looks like. Just around the corner is going to be Glen Wilton. I think there's a bridge there and a gravel takeout. And just came past a little class 1. Maybe one what they call class 2 and 4 class 1 so far in 3 miles. There's a little set of class 1s on the left hand bend. And there's the Glen Wilton Bridge. And that stretch took me at 2.5 feet, about 2 hours maybe. I may get out at Glen Wilton and just show what that beaching looks like. I don't have a net, I don't have pliers, and it's really too big for me to get across his back. So I may just, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's probably closer to 15 pounds. That looks like a walkway down from the bridge area. But before I go up there and take a look at it, I did end up catching that muskie. Grabbed it behind the gills and whatnot, but it was all I could do to get my hand across its back. And it was about 20 pounds. So that's the biggest muskie I've ever caught. Actually, I've only caught one other muskie up at Lake Champlain, about a 4-pound little rascal, hammer handle. This dude was far from that. Anyhow, it was just above the Glen Wilton Bridge, right up in there somewhere. A little small spinnerbait, 3/16 ounce spinnerbait. Anyhow, I'm gonna get out in that Glen Wilton and we'll see what's what. So that's Glen Wilton there. And it's loaded with doves underneath this bridge. That's the western side of the bridge on the river. And there's some of your great graffiti. That's actually up at the Iron Gate as well. Header or something it says. Anyhow, all the birds underneath this bridge. Pleasantly surprised, that's the Glen Wilton Bridge in the background. Pleasantly surprised not to have seen any trash yet. And I've gone 4.5 miles already. Pretty cool. Not sure if this is the area they call the Squeeze. They talk about a small island. Well, it doesn't look small. At higher water they recommend scouting. So we'll take it easy and see what we got. There's a farm visible from this side. Cattle, silo, etc. Probably 300 yards up above this thing that I'm looking at now. Probably about mile, maybe 5.5. Okay, I'm stealth camped. Not gonna tell you exactly where because I don't want to get busted. It's all my gubbins. And the boat is down there. So this is the night of Wednesday, about 8 p.m. This is the downside of the Squeeze. And yeah, it was actually pretty cool. Some branches on the left, tree coming in on the left, and then some pretty good sized standing waves that the boat wants to get sideways on, so you got to pay attention to that. But the reason I wanted to do this shot was if you're a hammock hanger, 1/4 mile down on the right is an area that probably would work out for, well, easy to get in and out, but probably work out for hanging hammocks. And not too much brush and stuff to deal with. I crashed above this, but just making a note. I was looking for the rapids, knowing it's pretty flat, but just a little creek coming in. This is getting close to mile 7. I got to get to somewhere around mile 30 today. So I'll actually do some paddling. Couple feet higher than 2.5 feet water level. Flat area. If you're a tent camper, that might be the business. That's on river left. Don't know if it's private. That's on you. One point that bears mentioning at this point was that the upper 20 miles was probably traveling at around 2 miles an hour, the middle 20 at about 2.5, and the lowest 20 down to Glasgow at about 3. Didn't see that one. This bit of flat bank is just below the island at around mile 9. It's pretty close to the water though, so might not be any good for tents. Oh, the resource I'm using is canoevirginia.net in terms of a map. Sorry about the sun. This is approaching Gala, approaching mile 10, and I'll show you the Gala access point in just a minute. Just past some bluff that's 150 feet, but it was in the middle of a rapid, so I couldn't do anything about it. One thing I forgot about rivers, it's been so long since I did one. The banks are so damn steep. Finding a good camping spot, at least here on the East Coast, I remember Shenandoah River as well. Anyhow, banks are pretty steep. There's a little flat area between mile 10 and 11 that maybe you could hang a hammock as well. Again, I don't know if it's private, so that's on you. And you can hear the cars in the distance from Gala, which, interestingly enough, my map says you can get food and gas there. Not that you need gas, but, and then in another mile or so after that is the put-in point for the Gala access point. This is Stinking Creek at mile 11.5 on my maps. There's a couple guys here, so I'm not gonna talk long. But they're at a little ramp, and I'll get out, and I gotta get a hat out. Okay, this is the Gala access point. I don't know what that business is, I guess, but comes in, nice gravel parking lot. There's some guys I'm talking to now with and they're looks like good parking. And that's Jesse down there, got his Spider-Man tackle box. And this is the Stinking Creek access area. Approaching mile 14 and the 220 bridge. It's been beautiful along here. Very quiet, peaceful. I read one guy's commentary on it. I don't remember exactly where it was, but he was unimpressed. And yeah, maybe if you're interested in a bunch of serious rapids, but otherwise it's beautiful out here. Good hammock hanging here. Maybe tents as well, I don't know. .220 bridge is at mile 14 on the maps I'm using. My son, rightly so, said, you're not going to get there today. We got on the water, or I got on the water at 2:30 yesterday. And it's now 11:45 on Thursday. That's one of the mile markers. I've seen a few. I think that one says 14. Just past the 220 bridge. Nice little spot. Mountains in the background. River's about to make a hard left. Mile 15 or so. So this is mile 15.2 with a big hill there. And there's a creek with a access point. That's 220 on the right side now because we went under the bridge. I'll take a look at the access point. There's a guy up there fishing, so I'm not going to go up and disturb him, but pretty straightforward to get through and nice place to put a boat in. That's mile 16 or 17 maybe. course, I'm into a headwind shooting right down the valley. Just approaching mile marker 18. Some nice camping areas here. These are all little class 1s. There's a class 2 around the corner. It's supposed to be pretty awesome. We'll see what that means. This is supposed to be a class 2. Right side's supposed to have a bigger drop. Left side is what I'm going to take. There's no sweepers. Nice campsite on the Horseshoe Bend on the inside, just after that class 2 rapids at mile 18, 18.5 maybe. I can tell you from personal experience, the trains are serious. 3 or 4 of them came through last night, making a lot of noise. Those are the first posted signs I've seen. Somebody's serious about it. There's 3 of them in 50 yards. Anyhow, that's in the bend right after 19. Beautiful day. This is around mile 20. One of the more perplexing locations. The water's got to go to the left up there, but you can't just see it yet. You can hear it. Really good looking camping deal for tents and hammocks just before mile marker 21. There's more of those trains. A nice set of cliffs after a pretty cool standing wave, class 1. Nice campsite too. This is about mile marker 23. This is just before those rapids I just showed you. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's paved ramp. Obviously couldn't put a big boat in there, but maybe one of the access points. I'm just too lazy to turn over my map. Those are marked on the map as historic stone piers, which I'm glad to see because I saw a concrete block and I thought, that can't be it. Pretty decent looking camping spot right up there. Again, I don't know if it's public or not. Right at mile marker 28. It's only 3 in the afternoon, so I'm moving on, but that would be a perfect campsite. It's right before, well, right after some rapid that they say you may have to get out and drag. I went far right and was no problem. And right before that railroad bridge. Man, it's freaking amazing out here. So quiet. I was wrong about the get out and drag area before. I just went through it. Did a bunch of bottom bumping, but it wasn't too bad. This is campsite 3 at about 8 miles from Glasgow. I tested my phone here, but it had recovered like an idiot. I dumped the canoe at the end of day 2.